Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A really special guest today here with me, Ville Valo, Vivi. Hello, man. How are you? All good?
Hello there. I'm getting there. Yeah. It feels weird to not to be on the tour bus.
Okay.
We toured quite a bit last year. We played, I think, 120 shows. So it feels a bit weird to be at home and like sip on a coffee and not to travel every day somewhere. So I'm getting used to this.
Okay, yeah, because we're talking over a year after the release of Neo Nua. You've also had a quite busy year in the terms of touring, as you said. Was 2023 a good year for you overall?
Oh yeah, it was a fantastic year. It's when you work on music, you can never tell in advance if people are going to like it or not, if it's going to resonate, or if they're going to find anything interesting in it. You can hope, but you can never take it for granted. And so I was super excited about the fact that when we started touring, it seems that there's a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces, people that have been there since the days of him, but also a new generation of people that seem to be enjoying what I do too. So it's a boring way and a naive and a sort of like cliche way of saying it's been a dream come true, but that's more or less what it's been. Especially after the pandemic and everything, we never knew how it's going to be and whether people will still come out to the shows and all that. I think that all artists and all bands have been stressed out about the same, not knowing.
Yeah.
And last year, I was busy. Played a lot of festivals. We played a lot of club dates and a lot of traveling and a lot of new places too. So that's been kind of cool. I've been touring a lot with my previous band, but being able to after all these years still see something completely new. It's exciting. And now soon we're hitting the tour bus again, and we're driving over there. And right before that, we're flying over to Australia and New Zealand. So that'd be nice too. It's been more than 10 years since I've been there, so it's exciting.
Yeah, because 2024 means more touring for you, and also coming back to Poland to play in Katowice on April 13th. And please tell me, what could your Polish fans expect about this show? Any setlist changes, maybe, comparing to the last year's shows in Warsaw and Kraków?
Well, that was the very beginning of the tour, so I think the band is playing better, and I think the sort of like honeymoon is over in a way that now we're actually getting to know each other and everything's gelled. I sing better, hopefully, and we worked around the set list and quite a bit. There's a few songs we haven't played. I'm not quite sure which. It's been a while, so I'm not sure which songs we played on that show, but or those two in Poland in last year. But it's been a bit over a year. Or something like that. Or just less. But it's weird how time flies. I remember that. I remember the first gig. The set will be different, and the band will be in tip-top shape, and I think the sound will be better as well because, as I mentioned, we've done so many gigs, so that everything's like it's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I totally remember. That was a Valentine's Day when you played in Warsaw last year, so that was a great day for me because him is kind of like, and your music as Vivi is kind of like. I would say great combination for the Valentine's Day, so that was great. When was it easier for you to create new music? When you were in your 20s, I would say hungry to rock the world, or maybe right now when you are more experienced, both musically and in life overall?
Oh, what a complicated and a great question. I don't think that writing music should ever be easy. It's not all an uphill battle, but it needs to. It's like a good run. It does hurt, and you're sweating quite a bit, but it's you get the endorphins out, and it's worth it in the end. But I think writing music is always trying to better yourself and to do things a bit differently, to find new perspectives. That the whole process feels fresh, and I don't think that's become more hard after doing it more. It's getting more, let's say, intricate then more. Yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's I wouldn't change it for the world, and it's the only thing I've ever really done. So I don't know anything else, and it's too late to learn. Yeah. So I'll just keep on going.
Are you now more or less melancholic person than in the past? What would you say?
Melancholy can mean so many different things. You know, if it means in the sense of beautiful, wistful longing in sort of like romantic and dramatic fashion, then I'm quite the same person. But if you by melancholic mean a person that is sad or depressed, then I would say that I'm a little less depressed than I was when I was younger. But I guess that's normal too. You find your way and you sort of give up. You realize that life is shit and you can't do much about it. So yeah, you just go with the flow. But no, it's but I like my music melancholy, and I like that sort of art. I like films and these days TV series and books and all sorts of stuff that's a bit more on the darker side and the weirder side. That's what yeah. That's sort of like, I'm not a big fan of comedies, for example. Yeah, I can watch a comedy on occasion, but it's not my cup of tea, you know.
Yeah, and, as you said, sad music makes you happy, right? And happy music makes you sad. So let's put it this way.
Yeah. Happy music makes me frustrated and angry. So nobody likes it when I'm like that. So it's better that I keep on listening to really sort of like the doomier the better.
Yeah. Okay. Which hymn album would I would say bring you the most powerful memories if you would listen to it right now?
Well, there's a couple. They're all important. You know, there were so many things happening in such a short period of time, especially early 2000s. I still maybe think Love Metal being the most important album for myself because I thought that we found a voice. You know, we've kind of like found our identity, and it's the first time we used the heartogram on the cover as a big deal. And that album was, on a personal level, it was a big deal. But then an album that kind of I'm probably the most proud of that we were able to accomplish was Venus Doom, which is maybe the weirdest and the heaviest of all the albums. But it was that was quite a track. I was in bad way. I was going out and partying and drinking way too much, and I was mentally and physically in a bad shape. And I think that you can hear it from the album, and as such, it's very special.
Mm-hmm. That was actually the first hymn album that I was waiting for, being a fan, because that was 2007. I was like 8 years old then, but I was totally into your music. My cousin showed me, your band, and that was like that.
Oh wow, cool! That's and it's always important to sort of like the first songs you hear from an artist. They always leave that mark. It doesn't matter if it's the first album or the 10th album or the best album or the worst album, but that's the first time you get introduced to the sound, and that always leaves a mark, and it feels special. And I'm glad that Venus Doom tickled your fancy, as they say. It's a good one. It's a weird one. It's a pretty dark one too, but it has a cool vibe to it, and it's maybe a bit more musical. There's a bit more. It's not so straightforward as, let's say, Razorblade. A bit more meandering and all over the place. Those long songs like Sleepwalking Past Folk. And,
great song.
Thank you. Well, I enjoyed it, and it's sort of like a Metallica moment. A lot of different parts and things going on.
Yeah. Do you sometimes miss being in the band? Not the certain people, maybe not him at all, but the feeling that you are a part of the band, of the group, and have people with good ideas and masters of their instruments around you.
I do feel that the important thing about having a band is the feel of being like, in the case of him, being like the Five Musketeers, that you would feel like it's like a brotherhood, that you're very close, musically speaking, but also on the level of friendship. And I think that's because then when you're on stage, you're like a one unit. Mm-hmm. Like these are my and I'm their guy, and you feel stronger as a proper band. I still don't realize that I'm so like solo. It's just I don't I can't compute, or my brain doesn't compute it like properly. It feels like I'm part of the band when we're performing now each and every night with the new set of lads. Nothing's changed in that sense. It's still there's still chemistry, and everybody's important, because it's something that a lot of people forget, is that if the guitar player has a bad night, then my vocals are going to sound bad. If I'm having a bad night, then the drums are going to sound bad. It's a combination. You need all the musicians, you need all the instruments to make the sound and the event and the entirety, as well as the mixing guy in the front of the house. There's so many variables, and it's a team effort that I've always considered it to be a team effort. It doesn't matter what reads on the tickets, whether it's my name or a name of a band. But I think that recording-wise, I think being in him for such a long time, I witnessed recording albums as a group so many times that it's fresh and new to me to do stuff by myself. It just feels not more interesting, but it feels something that I haven't really done before, like a thing I haven't really explored yet. Mm-hmm. And being around for quite a long time in the realm of rock and roll, I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing if you can find a new perspective or a new angle to what you're doing, and I'm quite happy with that. And at the end of the day, I can't tour by myself, so there will be a band whenever there's a tour. But then working on the ideas, I really like working by myself, because it gives me the opportunity of a full 100%, or should I say 666% focus on what I do. It's like there's no diluting. There's no people doing that. Hey, can we get some lunch? Or whatever it might be. It's just music and me, and that's the way I like it.
Yeah, and while being on the tour, do you have any, I would say, certain routine that you do, I don't know, to take care of your health, to take care of your voice, as you're, playing many shows last year and this year?
Well, it's more or less it's the boring stuff. So you try to get as much sleep as you can. Then what I found, which is my ritual or routine, is that every day, if I can, get a hotel room with a bathtub. That's still what I do. I've been doing that for the past 20 years. I think it's great. It's great for the voice, all the humidity, especially, let's say, touring in North America, where everything is air conditioned. Mm-hmm. So the air is dry in a lot of places. So I sit in the tub. I read a book for a couple of hours every day. Then I start getting ready for the show, and it's pretty much being like a racehorse, like with the blinkers on. I'm just thinking about the show and not much more, and sort of like taking it easy. I'm a very untouristy, meaning that I normally don't go out from the hotel and walk around the city and find a place for lunch or whatever. I just don't. Like, I'm just concentrating on the gig the whole day, and that's also the way I've been able to pull off all the gigs, especially last year, that was pretty hectic, without blowing my voice completely or becoming super ill. Because at the end of the day, that's the important thing. I'm at the end of the day, I'm there to sing the songs, and not to croak like a crow, mm-hmm. and all that. So it's been working out fine so far. Yeah.
All right. How do you listen to music these days? Is it maybe streaming, vinyls? I know that you're a big fan of vinyls, and you consider the album as a vinyl in a final form.
Yeah, well, I think to do with the final form, as you put it, it's more about the fact that it's tangible. It's something that you can hold in your hands, because now, let's say I just read about Universal took all the music off TikTok, which means that all their artists, all of a sudden, their music has vanished. And that's the problem with digital, because it's just ones and zeros. Like, it just go away. If the Spotify or Tidal server, gets busted, all of a sudden you're going to lose all the music. With vinyl, you're not having as much of it, but it's maybe, and the quality is not necessarily better, but it's yours. Mm-hmm. You own it, and it's not like digital platforms where you own the right to listen to the music while you're paying for it. It's a different method. I love digital streaming because, especially on tour, there's no way of carrying a vinyl player turntable with me. So until they invent a turntable Walkman, like a big one with headphones, that's kind of cool. But especially when flying, I don't like flying at all. I'm a bit scared of flying, so I love the AirPods or whatever they're called. With the noise cancellation is really good. So if you're flying to America or the flights are really long, which I feel really uncomfortable, I love the opportunity of listening to music, like 8 hours in a row, listening to playlists or whatever. And since I haven't traveled in many years, that's something that really got me into music again, listening to new artists and all that. And that's cool. I love the possibility of people being able to listen to music wherever they are. It doesn't matter. It never mattered where, what kind of stereo system you have, or a boombox or an iPhone or whatever. It doesn't. That's not the point. Music is yours, and if you like music, enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it. It's not for me to say.
Yeah, sure. For the end, any plans for 2024, maybe 2025 after the tour is done? I don't know, big holidays or maybe working on new music?
I'm not big on holidays. I'm a very bad vacation taker. Everybody's always saying you need a vacation, but I don't know how to have one. I always travel. I like to travel for a reason.
Yeah.
Sort of like that. I'm on a mission. But we're playing the last date for Neon Noir, the tour, will be on, I think it's May 10th in London.
Yeah, and Royal Albert Hall, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful old place, and never played there before. And I'm sure that they'll be fun and fantastic and quite nerve-wracking as well, because it's such a it's a legendary place. But there's a lot of great places and great gigs happening before that. So one gig at a time, one thing at a time. And once the tour is over, I think I'm going to pick up the guitar, but then it remains to be seen if the ideas are good enough.
Okay.
And if they're not good enough, then I have to fight for them. And I'm a musician, and I love music, and I'm a fan of music. So I can't see myself doing anything else besides music. But how? That's a different question. I'm not sure if it'll be under the VV project or whether it be something different. I don't know yet. And that's also the cool thing. I love the fact I don't know what's around the corner, that there are surprises and there's no routine. It keeps me on my toes.
All right. Thank you so much, Ville, for this amazing conversation. That was totally a pleasure. And all the best for you on the tour and over.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Peace out. All righty. Bye.